Hello everyone, and welcome to this review of the Darth Maul premium format by Sideshow Collectibles. I got this piece about 6 months ago, I think, at the same time that I got Darth Talon premium format. But it is an older piece now, so it's been out for quite a few years. Of course, he's sold out everywhere, so you'll have to look him up on the forums or on eBay to get him. But yeah, I've been neglecting doing this review for quite a while now, but today is finally the day. But yeah, he's a premium format, quarter scale. He's premium format by its old definition, which means that he has many fabrics parts on him. So he's basically mixed media, as you know, many of the premium formats are. He has clothing on his pants and his inner dress here, or whatever that is. His belt is also some kind of leather. If it's not genuine leather, then at least it is something that looks a lot like it. And of course his upper body and his arms are also covered in fabrics. But it's a really nice statue. I guess you all know this character from the movie Phantom Menace, or maybe from the comics or the books, or also from the animated series, the Clone Wars series. But yeah, it's a really nice statue. In my opinion, this is the best rendition of Darth Maul when it comes to premium formats, or any statue really. Well, maybe he is. This piece might be competing against the recently released legendary scale figure, but that's for a different kind of collector. I don't have room for something like that. For those of you who know the legendary scale figures, they are half scale, which means they are really big, so yeah. But again, let's stick with this guy for now. It's a premium format, and he's standing in a action pose, taken from the movie, I would guess, and it looks really great. It's very dynamic, it's very alive somehow, and that's nice to see on a character like this, because he is very violent, physical, and all that. So it makes sense to make this kind of dynamic pose for him, I think. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and zoom in on his head, so you can see the fine details of the paint application and his expression, which is also very cool. So just give me 2 seconds. And here we go. Now, as you can see, his face is very tense. He's quite ferocious and vicious looking, which fits the character well. And yeah, he's got this symbolic or very iconic facial tattoo paint thing. And Sideshow have done a really great job in applying this paint. If you really go close and look at the edges of the red and dark, then you are gonna notice some overlaps and some sloppy painting, but at a normal viewing distance you won't even notice at all, I think. Now, I'm not happy to say this, but this particular piece might have some kind of well, goggly eyes. I'm not sure. It is difficult because he's looking to the side, so. But this is the risk with any premium format or any character that are released by Sideshow, that their eyes might not be perfectly aligned every time. This is not really a big issue for me, and the reason for that is that it is very unnoticeable, I think. You hardly even notice it in some angles, so it's not anything that annoys me at all. I mean, the overall expression and look of this piece really just blows you away, so you won't even notice a little thing like that, despite it being the eyes. Yeah. Again, the facial paint and the entire paint application of this piece is really nice, as well as the sculpt is really good. It is difficult to tell how much this looks like the actor Ray Parks, because, well, the facial paint really, well, distorts his facial features, so it's difficult to make out if this really looks like him. Also in this quarter scale where the face is this small. But from a glance, I would say that this is a really good sculpt and portrait. So again, I have only thumbs up towards Sideshow in this regard. His teeth are very nicely painted as well. They are better painted than I've seen on many other recent releases, and that's really nice. And the horns are, well, they're also done nicely. There's really not much to say about them. They are, of course, very iconic for this character, because he's a, well, I guess he's a Sabrak of his race, but I'm not sure. I don't recall right now. But yeah, I think they've done a really great job in this regard, and this is really the best look for him. Some of you might have seen the Darth Maul with cyborg legs, where he has a little more ferocious look on him and his horns have grown long. But I prefer this piece because this is what you recognize from the movie, so this is fine with me. But yeah, it's a really nicely painted head, and it's full of fine details, and it's very convincing, and it's very, yeah, I think it's very movie accurate to some degree at least, and I'm very satisfied with it. So yeah, that's what I have to say about the head, I guess. Now let's try and zoom out again like we always do, have a look at his upper body and his arms and all the details there. So just give me 2 seconds. Right guys, here we go. Now, as I said in the beginning of this video, the most of his body is covered in this suit that he's wearing. Probably some kind of traditional Sith attire. But it looks really nice, and it is these dark colors. I think the colors are actually the same of all the bits and pieces of this suit. And it does indicate that there are more layers to it, but actually it's all fitted together. You can't remove anything or move anything around. It's just fixed very nicely onto the sculpt, and that's really nice, I think. The belt, I'm just going to turn him. The belt is some kind of leather material. It might not be genuine leather, I'm not sure really. But it does look like leather, so it might be some kind of imitated leather. But it looks really nice. And his gloves are sculpted, completely sculpted, in a way so that they look like leather gloves. And well, we've seen this before on other statues, I think. They've done a really great job, and Sideshow really have mastered the technique of sculpting something to look really good and like leather. Yeah, but the bodysuit is really nice. It's firmly attached, as I said. It does have many details, so when you get up close, you can see many of the details of the clothing, which is really cool. And the lightsaber is yeah, you can see it there. It's really nice. The size of it is, well, it's big, but it is also a dual-bladed lightsaber. And I think the scale of it is rather good. I think it's spot on, actually. If you look at the recent legendary scale figure, it has gotten a lot of heat because of the scale of the hilt. Because the hilt was that big. It was actually a little too big, I think. But in this case, the hilt is really nice. And it does come with a light up feature in the blades here, but you can't really tell that well. Because this is the old way of doing it. Yeah, so it's not really that impressive. But this also means that you can't remove the blades here either. They are firmly attached to the hilt. Yeah, but I don't know why you would do that anyway, because when he's standing in this pose, I think it would be, well, it would make more sense that the saber is ignited. So yeah, it looks good like this. But this also means, of course, that he takes up a lot of space because the saber is this big. But yeah, this is a big statue actually, because there are many aspects of it that makes him a little demanding when it comes to space. But I'm gonna show you what I mean in this next part, because I'm gonna go straight ahead and have a look at his lower body and his lower section and the base. So just give me 2 seconds. Right, here we go. Now, as you can see, his clothing extends almost all the way to the base, and we have all these small bits and pieces. Some of them have a different kind of material on the inside, a more fine kind of fabric, and there is something, I'm not sure if it is a wire or what it is. You can maybe pose them a little, but the wire, the things that I can feel on the inside here, it's just like a wire. It might be just to weigh it down. But yeah, it looks really nice, I think. And we have all these layers, which really looks cool because it adds this traditional look to the attire, I think. His boots are fully sculpted. He's got these iconic boots of his. Some kind of battle boot, I guess. Some kind of armor. They do have a leather finish some places, and well, they are just very finely detailed, I think. The base is really big, and apart from being big, it's also really boring, I think. It's just a flat surface with tiles on it. I guess this is from the scene in the hangar or in the generator room. So you couldn't really expect too much in the first place, I think. On the back we have the light up button here, which is just a regular button. But yeah, it's a really simple base, but it's really huge and it's quite heavy as well. But it's just nice because it really, well, I know that some of you are really into heavy pieces, and I can really recommend this one then if that's you. But yeah, it looks nice, I think. And of course the size of the base is because of his pose. He's standing in this action battle ready pose. And this means that he's got his legs spread, and of course the base needs to support this. But yeah, the size of it of course makes him somehow difficult to display. But yeah, when you finally cut him up, he really looks nice, I think. So yeah, I really don't have anything else to add. I think if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I think I'm just gonna go straight ahead and jump to the conclusion now, and we'll just wrap this up. Give me 2 seconds. Right, so I guess I kind of covered all aspects now. Now, the reason that I like this piece is because I find that he really represents the Phantom Menace nicely. He was, for me, one of the main highlights of the movie. I'm sure that I'm not the only one who feels like this. And well, just the entire look of this piece and the pose and the expression of it, well, I find that this is the best and most true representation of this character that you'll find at the moment, at least in this scale. I mean, the Darth Maul with cyborg legs is really cool as well, but it's not, well, it's from the extended or expanded universe, and when it comes to making a decision between the two, then I'm gonna go with the one that I know from the movie. But yeah, I really love the pose of him, because you don't get that many pieces with this kind of action pose, and I think that Sideshow have done a really great job when it comes to that. But all in all, it's a fine piece, and if you are considering getting this, if you like the character, and you don't have room for the legendary scale figure, then I think this is a really good piece for you, because you will get the Darth Maul character that you love, and you'll get him in a way that you recognize him with his pose and his expression of violence and passion and all that you know from the Sith tradition. But do keep in mind that it's a big piece, and mainly the lightsaber here, which extends really long. Well, it can be tricky to display him. So you have to keep this in mind if you're considering getting him. I think you should really find a spot for him before even considering buying him, so you know where you're going to put him. And now I don't have the exact measurements, but I'm sure you can pick those up on the forums, or just, well, ask me in a comment if you want them, because I can just do them for you and you can see if you've got room for him. But to sum it up, it's a really great piece. Again, one of the great pieces that make good use of fabrics. in a way that really supports the character's expression and overall feel and look. And yeah, they've done a great job, Sideshow, I think. This is the one true Darth Maul statue for me, at least. So yeah, I can only recommend him. Yeah, right. I guess that was it. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and post them. Go ahead and like the video if you liked watching it, and remember to subscribe my channel as well. Right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and take care. Bye.